From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And it is 5 o'clock here on your Wednesday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
Lauren, good morning. I'm Rafael Sanchez, and here are your headlines on this August the 26th. A major program helping Hoosiers pay rent is set to stop taking applications today. This morning, the call to have the assistance program extended.
The Marion County Election Board is set to meet today to finalize plans for November's election. Working for you, we're taking a look at the steps they're taking to make sure that every vote counts.
And it was a family affair at the Republican National Convention last night, from the president's children to the First Lady, her message to the country and what's ahead on this Wednesday.
But first, we want to welcome you in here to Good Morning Indiana. Rafael, thanks for joining us from down in Johnson County. How you doing this morning?
Hey, Lauren, good morning. So I stepped outside before coming on air. It doesn't feel as humid, Todd Clausen, as it did yesterday, but keep in mind I just woke up, so it's possible that I'm not really fully awake, but I think I would know when it's super humid, and yesterday was bad. Today, not as bad.
Yeah, you know, the humidity is down a smidge, and that's partly due to some of those thunderstorms that rolled through yesterday afternoon and into the evening hours. But we're going to warm up just as quick later on this afternoon. So kind of prepare yourself mentally for another hot day that is going to be heading our way. So you take a look from IMS towards downtown Indianapolis. You can see the city skyline, and there's a little bit of haze, which would be the humidity out there, but not a ton. Temperatures right now range from 73 in Indianapolis to 72 in Lafayette. Bloomington currently sitting at 68 degrees, and there's a little bit of patchy fog that has developed across parts of the area down to about 1 mile in Lafayette, 4/10 of a mile in Crawfordsville. That's where they have the lowest visibility right now. So just be aware of that as you get out on the roadways this morning. But otherwise, the skies are clear once the sun comes up. We'll have plenty of sunshine throughout the course of the day today. And it's going to kind of look like that hazy sunshine. It's not so much because of the humidity that's going to be around, but we're picking up a little bit of the smoke in the higher levels of the atmosphere from the forest fires out west. So it's kind of filtered sunshine, but it's going to warm us up quick again. 86 degrees by the noon hour, with our high temperature today, Lauren, topping off in the low 90s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out there early this morning to kick off your Wednesday. Here's a live look at traffic on the north side, I-465 of you near Ditch Road. You can see traffic there moving eastbound and westbound along 465 is traveling smoothly. No lane restrictions, no crashes here to slow you down.
I arrived in the United States when I was 26 years old. Living and working in the land of opportunity was a dream come true, but I wanted more. I wanted to be a citizen. After 10 years of paperwork and patience, I studied for the test in 2006 and became an American citizen. It is still one of the proudest moments in my life because with hard work and determination, I was able to achieve my own American dream.
Well, the second night of the Republican National Convention featured several of the president's family members, including First Lady Melania Trump there and other GOP leaders. Rafael.
And Lauren, we just heard from the First Lady. Of course, the theme of the evening was the land of opportunity. Marion Maloney has more this morning.
Tonight, we explore together America.
With night one in the books, Republicans picking up right where they left off on night two.
Without fail, President Donald Trump has been fighting for you.
The Republican National Convention in full swing, with more big names coming out for President Trump and aiming their attacks directly at his Democratic opponent, Joe Biden.
I fear Biden will choose war again.
Tuesday's theme, Land of Opportunity. Front and center, more members of the Trump family, including two of his children, Eric and Tiffany.
My father built a thriving economy once, and believe me, he will do it again.
First, we were ignored. Then we were laughed at. Then they fought us. And then, together, we won.
And from the Rose Garden, First Lady Melania Trump.
Through kindness and compassion, strength and determination, we were able to restore the promise of our future.
Also taking center stage, the President's Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, addressing Americans from Jerusalem.
President Trump has put his America First vision into action. It may not have made him popular in every foreign capital, but it's worked.
The party's goal? To show a united front behind the president and generate some much-needed momentum as the president prepares to formally accept the nomination on Thursday.
Donald Trump has not and will not lose focus on you. He loves this country, and he knows how to get things done.
In Washington, I'm Mary Maloney.
A big decision is expected today, especially where thousands of people vote in Marion County in just a matter of weeks. WRTV's Alyssa Donovan joins us live this morning with what's on the table. Alyssa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Raphael. This morning, the Marion County Election Board will be meeting. The plan is to determine the final plan for voting centers for the November election. Now, in the delayed election in June, there was only 22 locations where voters could cast their ballots on Election Day, which led to very long lines, and that was due to lack of poll workers. But according to Russell Hollis of the Marion County Clerk's Office, around 1,300 poll workers have signed up for the November election. They need about 2,000 total. Hollis said they would like to staff about 200 vote centers. There were about 270 in November of 2019. The board will also be discussing changes to improve in-person voting, like using larger spaces for voting centers.
We're doing everything that we can to help prevent those long lines.
Today, the election board will also determine the number of early voting sites. Now, early in-person voting starts on October 6th, which means you have to be registered to vote by October 5th. So if you are not registered to vote, now is the time to do it. Get it done quickly. And if you do need to request an absentee ballot, you should do that sooner rather than later, as they were bogged down during the June election. Reporting live, I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.
Alyssa, thank you. Now to the latest on the coronavirus numbers here in our state. 841 more Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19. Those results were recorded between August 12th and Tuesday. The overall positivity rate remains at 8.7%, but the 7-day positivity rate has dropped to 6.8%. That 7-day period is August 11th through the 18th. Overall, more than 88,400 Hoosiers have tested positive for the coronavirus. 15 more Hoosiers have died from COVID-19. Those deaths occurred between Friday and yesterday. The total number of deaths is now standing at 3,023.
Lauren, Marion County health officials now taking steps to address barriers in the Latino community when it comes to this pandemic. According to the Marion County Health Department hotspot map, the highest amount of cases are now in the 46204 zip code. That's downtown and the west side of Indianapolis. The health department recently added a testing site near 38th and Lafayette. Marlene Dotson with the Indiana Latino Institute says financial and communication issues may be preventing some people from getting tested or treated for COVID-19.
They can't afford to stay home in quarantine like others. They have to go to work. They have to support their families. So they have, and can they take pay off time from work to be tested? Do they have someone who can watch their kids while they're getting tested? Will there be someone at the side who can speak Spanish and be able to translate for them?
An online resource guide on the city's website is available in Spanish. Resources are also available at IndianaLatinoInstitute.org.
It is 5:09. Working for you, it's a race against the clock. Today is the deadline for a program meant to help people pay their rent. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson is joining us live with what you need to know. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So if you are someone who needs rental assistance amid the pandemic, listen up, because a major assistance program, their deadline is today. So the deadline to apply for the statewide program that does not include Marion County is today at 11:59 p.m. State officials say the website is called IndianaHousingNow.org, and it will close tonight at 11:59 p.m. So you need to make sure you get that application in order earlier today. State Senate Democratic leader Tim Lannon says yesterday yesterday, he sent a letter to Governor Holcomb asking him to extend that program. Now, if you live in Marion County, there's a different program for you, which you can find at indyrent.org. And according to their website, as long as funds are available, groups of 1,000 applicants at a time will be invited to complete an application for assistance. People will be chosen in order that they appear on the waiting list. Now, again, if you are outside of Marion County, that website again is indyhousingnow.org. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much. The pandemic, as you know, is hurting college athletics as well, and that's why Purdue's coaches are taking pay cuts to deal with the loss of revenue. The head football coach, the men's and women's basketball coaches, and the athletic director have all agreed to a voluntary 20% salary cut. Other Purdue coaches have also agreed to a 15% salary reductions. In addition to the pay cuts, several coaches and administrators have also pledged to donate a combined $1 million to the More Than a Game campaign. Money raised will go to help the athletics department. Lauren?
Well, Raphael, if you like those street closures along Mass Ave and Rod Ripple Avenue, enjoy them while you still can. The Department of Public Works announced that the pedestrian corridors in those areas will reopen to vehicular traffic after the Labor Day holiday. While drivers will be allowed back along those popular strips, DPW says businesses that have expanded seating into parking spaces may continue to operate in those locations, and they'll still be protected by those concrete barriers. The temporary pedestrian corridor along Georgia Street between Pennsylvania and Meridian will stay closed to traffic until further notice. It is 5:11, Todd. What can we expect as we head out the door this Wednesday?
You know, more heat in the forecast for the day today, Lauren. It takes 3 consecutive days of 90-degree temperatures for it to be classified as an official heat wave. And today will be that 3rd day of 90-degree weather. So we have our first heat wave for the month of August, and it's probably the last heat wave for the month of August, obviously with the month ending next week. And cooler temperatures eventually starting to make their way into our area. But today back up into the low 90s. Tomorrow we get close to 90 degrees again. It's just going to depend on how long we can keep the clouds away tomorrow, and then Friday with more in the way of showers. Probably not going to make it to that 90-degree mark as we start to bring in some cooler weather, but the cooler weather comes in with better rain chances going forward. Today there could be a stray storm this afternoon, but overall pretty slim chances. Tomorrow a little better rain chances, and then as we get into Friday and Saturday, that's when the remnants of Hurricane Laura make their way close to central Indiana and bring us some rain chances. We'll talk about those rain chances for us in better detail for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. Metro Police investigating multiple shootings on the city's east side. The latest happening just overnight. What we know about the incidents next, right here on Good Morning Indiana.
Do Jacob justice on this level and examine your hearts.
An emotional plea from the mother of Wisconsin man shot by police. Her message to protesters as the city of Kenosha enters another day of unrest. The time right now is 5:13. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. New from overnight, 2 teens were taken to the hospital after a shooting on Indy's east side. Police at the scene tell WRTV that the victims drove up to a patrol car near East 10th Street and Linwood Avenue around 1:15 this morning. Both had gunshot wounds. A 15-year-old male was taken to the hospital in critical condition, and an 18-year-old male was in stable condition. The victims would not tell the officers where this incident occurred, but detectives believe it happened a couple blocks away near Michigan and Linwood Avenue. Metro Police are also investigating a deadly shooting near 25th and Midhopper, also on the city's east side. Officers found a man shot to death around 5:30 yesterday afternoon on Tradewinds Drive. They tell us they believe the shooting was an isolated incident. Investigators are asking anyone with any information to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS.
This morning, Lauren, we take you now to Wisconsin, where tensions remain high after the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. His family says the 29-year-old is now partially paralyzed, after being shot in the back 7 times. Thousands gathered for another night of protest on Tuesday. Some who gathered turned to violence and destruction, storming businesses, swinging baseball bats, setting buildings on fire, and igniting trucks and cars. The Kenosha Common Council passed a resolution Tuesday afternoon declaring a state of emergency. In an emotional appeal, Blake's family played for peaceful protests so the message would not get lost.
As I was riding through here, through the city, I noticed a lot of damage. It doesn't reflect my son or my family. If Jacob knew what was going on as far as that goes, the violence and the destruction, he would be very unpleased.
State, local, and federal officials are all investigating this shooting. The 2 police officers involved have been placed on leave.
Another history-making moment for NASA. Astronaut Jeanette Epps is set to become the first black woman to join the International Space Station. Epps, who is a former CIA intelligence officer, has a doctorate in aerospace engineering and joined the astronaut corps back in 2009. She's now preparing to join the flight crew for Boeing's new spacecraft Starliner 1. It's being tested and developed by NASA, but NASA astronauts already assigned to the Starliner 1 mission welcomed Epps to the crew on Twitter Tuesday. The spacecraft's first mission to ISS is set for 2021.
And now to the latest on those hurricanes headed to the Gulf Coast. Dozens of Hoosiers are on the way to help with relief and recovery. 25 members of the Indiana Task Force 1 deployed on Tuesday afternoon. The urban search and rescue team includes emergency responders from various backgrounds from across our state. At last check, Laura has sustained winds of 105 miles per hour, and wind gusts are expected to get stronger in the next 24 hours. Now we want to check in with our meteorologist, Todd Clausen. And Todd, of course, these hurricanes, though they may seem very far, far away, can have an impact on our local forecast. What do we know at this hour?
Yeah, and I think it will, Raphael, as we get into the Friday, Saturday time frame. And the impact, I know it's a tropical system right now, so you think a lot of damage from wind. We'll have some breezy conditions, but I don't think we're going to get those real strong winds. The biggest impact would be more in the way of cloud cover and also the potential for rainfall. What you're looking at right now is TrueCast. So this is not a current picture, but going forward in the future. And I started at 6 p.m. this evening as that storm system is making its way towards the Gulf Coast. You can see how tightly wound up it is. And as we go throughout the course of Thursday and into Friday, that storm system lifts through Arkansas, and then it kind of spins its way through Memphis and then towards southern portions of central Indiana with a little bit of rainfall. And the rain potential is going to be very, very high through Louisiana and even into the Memphis area and towards Evansville. But you do notice it's a quick drop off here across central Indiana with the precipitation. So the heaviest of the rainfall looks like it's going to stay just south of our area. We still will, though, get into some scattered showers and storms with this system again on Friday into the morning hours on Saturday. Outside right now, we are dealing with quiet conditions. The skies are mainly clear. There's a little bit of patchy fog out there that you need to be aware of if you're going out and about, but it's not widespread. That is the good news. 73 in Indy right now, 71 in Bedford and Richmond. 72 from Tipton up towards the Peru area. And as we look at the satellite radar picture, we are dealing with skies that are partly cloudy across the area. And that's the way it will stay here throughout the course of the day today and into the afternoon hours. You notice the temperatures once again getting back up into the 90s. We should be right around 90 degrees by 3 p.m. We should hit our high temperature between about that 3 and 4 o'clock hour in the low 90s. And then we'll slowly start to cool off later on this evening once again, with temperatures that will be in the 80s. Sunset tonight is at 8:25. Tomorrow is when we start to see some changes arrive. These changes not associated with Laura. These are just some scattered storms that are going to build in throughout the afternoon hours tomorrow. With the additional cloud cover, temperatures are going to be running a little bit cooler as well. So on TrueCast for tomorrow, especially during the afternoon hours, some scattered storms will start to build up. So if you do have outdoor plans tomorrow, maybe going for a long bike ride, maybe you have a tea time on the golf course, you have plans just to be outdoors with some friends, you'll need to be weather aware tomorrow as some scattered storms move in. But here's how the rain kind of moves in during the day on a Friday into Saturday morning. And this now is the remnants of what will be Laura. So it's really late Friday into Saturday that we bring the best rain chances into the forecast. But once that storm bypasses us to the south, a beautiful stretch of weather on Sunday and into Monday with temperatures in the morning hours in the 50s. Sunday looks mostly sunny, and then Monday 80 degrees. Lauren, with just a spot chance of an isolated storm.
You're going to see what happens to woman Todd when her childhood wish comes true. A celebrity experience thanks to a charity helping kids live their best life. That story next, right here on Good Morning Indiana.
Welcome back. A Carmel woman received the STAR treatment years after giving up her chance at having a wish granted.
So, Lauren, I want you to meet 21-year-old Annie. She was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at age 7, and she was nominated for Make-A-Wish years ago, right? Her mom says at the time they felt other children were more in need. But since then, Annie's health has taken some tough turns. So Tuesday, she made that belated wish, asking for a celebrity-like experience. Make-A-Wish, of course, made it happen, rolling out the red carpet, sending out a limo, and setting up a shopping spree at a jewelry store. The good news is we're told that Annie's doing a lot better, so all the best to Annie and her family.
Love that story. I'm glad she finally got her wish granted. So excited for that lady there. All right, Todd, let's get a check of our forecast. I think I'm wishing for some cooler weather, but I don't think you're going to grant that today.
You know, not today. There's no way I'm granting that wish, Lauren, but eventually we'll get there as we get into the weekend. Today is going to be another hot day for us across the area with that hazy sunshine. Temperatures this morning with a little bit of patchy fog are in the 70-degree range, and we'll see these temperatures warm with lots of sunshine as we work our way throughout the morning hours. By the time we get to the noon hour, 86 degrees. That's where we were the noon hour yesterday. So today's very similar to yesterday with highs in the low 90s. Just a small chance of a stray storm this afternoon as well. We'll talk about today's forecast and look ahead to those weekend changes in more detail for you coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Two teens rushed to the hospital overnight following a shooting on the city's east side. Now at 5:30, the latest on what may have led to the gunfire.
A statewide program helping Hoosiers with rent will stop taking applications today. This morning, the details on the deadline and the push some are making to get the program extended. But first, here at 5:31, we want to thank you for joining our team here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Rafael Sanchez joining us now from Johnson County. Good morning, Rafael.
Lauren, good morning to you, and I want everyone to remember that on this day, Todd Clausen, when you step outside, just remember sometime in mid-January, and then this day will feel oh so much better.
Yeah, you know, you're right. I remember just the last week, Rafael, when we got down into the 40s and 50s, some people were saying, oh, it's so cold, it's so cold. Well, we flipped that coin really quickly here, didn't we, over the past few days? Temperatures again today going up into the 90s. So what do you need to do as you walk out the door this morning? Well, you need to grab the sunglasses. You'll need those from start to finish and have the sunscreen handy as well. You definitely do not need the jacket. And I'm not expecting much in the way of storm action today. I know we flared up a few isolated storms yesterday, but you definitely don't need to carry the umbrella around all morning long. There is a little bit of patchy fog in parts of the area, especially out towards Crawfordsville, up towards Lafayette. Not an issue in downtown Indianapolis, 73. Right now in Indy, 68. In Bloomington, the skies are clear. And so we will have lots of sunshine once the sun comes up here a little after 7 o'clock this morning. That's official sunrise. And then we'll keep the hazy sunshine throughout the day today. 86 degrees by the noon hour. On our way up to a high temperature later on this afternoon, Lauren, of 92 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic. This is on the northwest side of town where everything's traveling up to speed. I-65 and I-865 here in the dogleg. Just keep in mind as you're traveling on I-65 to the northwest, on the southbound lanes, the left lane at Zionsville is closed for some construction work. This is an ongoing project, so keep that in mind as you're heading out on the roads this morning. Raphael?
Lauren, we are following a developing story this morning. A teen fighting for his life following gunfire on the city's east side. Metro police say two teens drove up to a patrol vehicle near East 10th Street and Linwood Avenue. This happening just after 1 this morning. Both had gunshot wounds. A 15-year-old was taken to the hospital in critical condition. An 18-year-old was also taken to the hospital, but he's expected to survive. The victims would not tell the officers where they were shot, but investigators believe it happened a couple of blocks away near Michigan and Linwood Avenue. Lauren?
And Raphael, a major deadline is just hours away for those who are struggling to pay rent. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live with what families needing help need to do by the end of the day today. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So that's right. If you are someone who is struggling right now to pay that rent amid the pandemic, this is for you. You need to listen up because the deadline for the major assistance program is today. So that deadline to apply for the statewide program that does not include Marion County is Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. State officials say the website is indyhousingnow.org, and that will close tonight. You will not be able to access that website after 11:59 tonight. State Senate Democratic leader Tim Lannon says yesterday he sent a letter to Governor Holcomb asking him to extend this program. Now, if you live in Marion County, there is a different program for you, which you can find at indyrent.org. According to the website, as long as funds are available, groups of 1,000 applicants at a time will be invited to complete an application for assistance. People will be chosen in order that they appear on the waiting list. Now, again, if you are outside of Marion County, that website is indianahousingnow.org. And again, that deadline is tonight. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
COVID-19 deaths and cases showing no signs of decreasing in our state. The State Department of Health reports 841 new cases. Those numbers are from yesterday. That's nearly 200 more cases than were confirmed on Monday. More than 88,000 total cases have been reported since the pandemic began. 15 new deaths were also reported, bringing the death total to 3,023. More than 1,010,000 Hoosiers have been tested so far for the virus.
It is 5:36. The pandemic has put a tremendous strain on families all across central Indiana. Many of them are figuring out how to balance working while helping their kids do that virtual learning. So a program at IU is hoping to ease some of that burden. Indiana Kids program is offering tutoring, mentoring, and college readiness to students in 6th through 12th grades. Programs are offered throughout the state at 7 IU campuses. This program has been happening for several years now, and while it's gone mostly virtual due to the pandemic, their mission has stayed the same.
We think that all students and all families should have access to educational support, emotional support, and so that's really why we do what we do.
In the coming weeks, they plan to expand it to elementary-age children. We have more information about how to enroll your kids in the IU Indiana Kids program. Just go to the story on our app and at WRTV.com.
Lauren, in our Democracy 2020 coverage, plans will be discussed today involving voting locations in Marion County. There are some options now on the table. WRTV's Alyssa Donovan joins us live this morning with the details. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning. The Marion County Election Board is meeting this morning at 10 a.m. They're expected to discuss their finalized plan for the voting centers for the upcoming November election. Now, we know that the previous election back in June was a different one that led to very long lines. There was only 22 voting centers in Marion County during that election. And the reason for that was there was not enough poll workers. According to the Marion County Clerk's office, they've already registered more than 1,000 poll workers and are on track to staff about 200 voting centers. Indiana is one of 6 states where voting by mail is not an option unless you have an approved reason not related to coronavirus.
A vast majority of folks that I hear from want to vote actually in person, and thankfully we had a Exhibit A, the primary election, where we proved that we could do it safely.
The board's plan is expected to have additional safety measures to improve in-person voting, like using larger venues for voting centers. The deadline to register to vote is October 5th, and early in-person voting is expected to start on October 6th. Reporting live, I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.
All right, thank you there, Alyssa. As you walk out the door here this morning, maybe you're taking the kids to the bus stop if they're not doing e-learning as you walk out the door with the kiddos, or if you're just going out for yourself. This forecast applies for you. And you're walking out to warm temperatures. We're hovering right around 72 degrees here throughout the morning hours on average, with a mainly clear sky. As the kids come home, we're looking at a temperature right around 90 degrees with skies that'll be mostly sunny across the area. And going forward, the humidity today is still elevated, and it stays rather muggy here across the area for Thursday and Friday. But then you notice that big drop in the yellow line there, and with the green bar graph, you notice we go from that muggy to very humid category on Saturday to Sunday into that perfect day, comfy category. Sunday is the day we are all going to look forward to here in our future because in between today and Sunday, we deal with the humidity and also rain chances returning to the forecast starting tomorrow. Some of those rain showers as we work our way into the weekend, part of what is now Hurricane Laura as well. We'll break it all down for you coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you so much. A local new effort to combat opioid overdose coming up. We'll explain the first in the state program supplying businesses with life-saving tools.
And residents along the Gulf Coast are preparing for Hurricane Laura. Just ahead this morning, how officials are keeping residents safe from COVID-19 and out of a storm's way. It's 5:40. Stick around. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. On this Wednesday, Hamilton County is launching a new effort to fight the devastating effects of drug overdoses in their county. County health departments are partnering to provide overdose boxes to local businesses and hopefully save more lives. The kits include gloves and 2 doses of the nasal spray Narcan. The county says many overdoses happen in restaurants and hotels, and if these businesses are equipped, they can help before emergency crews arrive. The boxes are free, but those interested must take a Narcan class with the Hamilton County Health Department first. Hamilton County is the first in the state to make these kits available to businesses. Lauren?
In Raphael, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's foremost infectious disease specialist, is back at work after a surgery. He had to have surgery last week to remove a polyp on his vocal cord. An institute spokesperson says that while Fauci is up and working, he's not having any speaking engagements for 7 to 10 days. Back in April, Fauci said he had influenza A in December and developed tracheitis. He was getting better until the coronavirus put him on a busy schedule of briefings and interviews. And the CDC is changing its guidelines on who should be tested for COVID-19 again. The agency no longer recommending asymptomatic people who have been exposed to COVID-19 to get a test. Previously, the CDC said that people in this category should be checked because asymptomatic spread of the virus. The agency did not explain the change, and it has many doctors confused. Some states still have their own rules recommending people who have been exposed get tested.
So this morning, Hurricane Laura is expected to get bigger from a Category 1 to a Category 3 before making landfall sometime tonight. ABC's Kenneth Moten reports on the 500,000 people being asked to leave their homes.
This morning, millions in the path of Hurricane Laura are bracing for landfall.
We don't have the resources to go door to door and pull people out of their homes and have no intention of doing that.
The deadly hurricane is building speed and strength as it moves north, already killing at least 24 people and carving a devastating path through the Caribbean and Cuba. The wind already so strong this home was flipped upside down. Laura is expected to slam the Gulf Coast as a Category 3 storm in less than 24 hours. Coastal areas bracing for up to 13 feet of storm surge.
2 big impacts. That is destructive winds and life-threatening storm surge well inland.
Families from Texas to Louisiana now scrambling to get to safety.
Once it gets past a Category 2 with the surge issues, there's no way I'm going to take that chance.
Nursing homes have been emptying out. Store and businesses are boarding up. Colleges are busing out students.
We urge people to take action sooner than later because, the weather will get worse. The traffic's going to be worse.
Long lines of bumper-to-bumper traffic in Galveston, bringing back memories of the chaotic and deadly evacuation in 2005 before Hurricane Rita, which caused massive gridlock in the heat. The evacuation ended up causing more deaths than the storm itself. Officials in the region are staggering evacuation orders to avoid a repeat of that chaos. But now, new worries for the nation's fourth largest city. Any movement in Laura's track could take it right over Houston, putting nearly 7 million people in the crosshairs. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
All right, thank you, Kenneth. That storm system in the Gulf of Mexico right now, still a Category 1 storm with sustained winds at 105 miles per hour, but it's expected to strengthen here over the course of the day today before it makes landfall. And you can see on this a satellite picture, and I know you see all the bright colors. That's not radar. This is infrared satellite, and it's basically measuring the height of the clouds, and the brighter reds are the higher cloud tops. And I'm going to stop it for you, and you can see, one, it's a symmetrical storm that shows it has a lot of strength to it, and it also has that well-defined eye. And if you look at the high definition here of some of the bands right around the eye there, pretty impressive with this storm system as it makes its way towards the Gulf Coast. It's going to make landfall most likely as a Category 3 storm, but the update that just came in at the 5 o'clock hour from the National Hurricane Center, kind of picking up, I think, on what I just showed you there around the eye and that well-defined eye and the cloud top spiking around it. Now expected to strengthen into a major hurricane as a Category 4 storm and then make its way towards the Louisiana-Texas state line, making landfall as probably a Category 3 or 4 storm with winds up near 120 miles per hour. And then the track takes it eventually just south of Indiana here as we go into Friday and Saturday. Still close enough to give us clouds and some scattered showers and storms, but we'll miss out on any damaging wind from this system and all the heavy rainfall, thankfully, across the area. 73 right now in Indianapolis, 75 in Muncie. Throughout the morning hours, temperatures will hold pretty steady until about 10 a.m., and that's when they'll start to spike up into the mid-80s later on this morning, and then eventually this afternoon we're going up into the low 90s for your afternoon highs. So it's probably the third day in a row of the 90-degree temperatures. Tomorrow we'll get close to 90 degrees. It's all going to depend on the cloud cover and the shower chances. Overnight tonight down at 21 degrees. It stays mild, it stays muggy. Tomorrow 89 degrees with scattered showers and thunderstorms starting to build in. And then as we get into the day on Friday, especially the latter half of Friday, that's when we'll start to bring in better shower and storm chances as a result of the remnants of Laura moving through Kentucky. The storm moves out by Saturday afternoon. We should be in much better shape. Then Sunday looks terrific with mostly sunny skies. High rate around 80 degrees, and then just a spot storm chance in the forecast on Monday. But look at those low temperatures, both Sunday and Monday morning, going back down into the mid-50s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads this morning. Good morning to you up here in Lebanon. You can see this is I-65 at US 52, where traffic on the interstate is moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound. Keep in mind, a long-term ramp project happening, the off-ramp from northbound I-65 to US 52. That is staying closed for construction until the end of October, so keep that in mind. We'll continue to keep you updated on ongoing construction, and right now it looks like it's a pretty smooth morning drive for your Wednesday morning. Raphael?
A busy morning already. A practice canceled. The Detroit Lions made that decision as a team as players held various signs. One of those signs read, "We won't be silent." The team wanted to talk to the media about police brutality following the shooting of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin last weekend. Blake was shot 7 times in the back by police as his 3 young children sat in the car.
We have a platform that we're able to use to not only raise awareness, but to create change. And we decided today that we was going to step forward and we was going to create change. The Detroit Lions organization is going to make a stand that what happened to Jacob Blake is not okay, and we're going to speak out on it.
The 2 officers have been placed on administrative leave during the investigation into what happened to Blake. His family says that he's partially paralyzed and remains in critical condition.
Well, more NFL teams, Raphael, are ruling out fans as the season is set to begin next month. No fans will be allowed at the SoFi Stadium. That's the new home of the LA Rams and Chargers until further notice. The venue is allowing Rams fans to purchase cardboard cutouts to fill the stadium instead. Cincinnati Bengals have also announced they will not have fans at their home opener. So we checked in with the Colts to see if they have changed any plans for their fans at Lucas Oil Stadium. Right now, they say they're continuing with their reduced capacity plan. They announced only 25% capacity back in July, but a Colts spokesperson said the exact number is still being determined.
So a question for a lot of you out there. Does this drive you nuts? Squirrels getting into your bird feeders. After the break, the Crafty Way 1 woodworker is putting a stop to his problem. That story and more coming up right here on this Wednesday on Good Morning, Indiana.
Welcome back to Good Morning, Indiana. The time right now is 5:55, and here's a live look at traffic just east of the downtown area. I-70 here at Rural Street and Keystone Avenue. You can see the city skyline there in the background, and down below, traffic is really picking up both eastbound and westbound. We'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads throughout the morning. Raphael?
So Tiger Woods, watch out. Todd Clausen, are you paying attention? Because this 4-year-old boy in West Virginia hit a hole-in-one, and it was not in putt-putt. This is the real deal. Rocco Figueretti has been practicing his tee shot since he was 3, and this week he made the shot that all golfers dream of. His dad, of course, caught the incredible hole-in-one on his phone. Rocco turns around just as surprised as everyone else and runs down the green in excitement. His dad posted the video on his Facebook, writing, "To say I'm proud would be an understatement." Congratulations to Rocco.
Wow, so cute there, too.
Yeah.
So, Raphael, if you think that story is nuts, just take a listen to this one. A woodworker made this custom-made treetop nut bar, allowing squirrels to pound peanuts and pecans till their little furry hearts content. This nutty bar is the brainchild of a woodworker, Duke Harmon, who came up with the idea after he got tired of squirrels stealing his bird seed. That is pretty fancy. Todd, I think the squirrels in your backyard might enjoy something like that, a little bar. Pretty creative.
You know, that is pretty creative. My neighbor has a lot of acorns on his trees, so I have quite a few squirrels frequenting my backyard, but maybe I can build something a little fancy like that. All right, outside right now, we're dealing with temperatures in the 60s and 70s. It's a warm morning. There's some humidity out there, but as Raphael mentioned earlier, if you joined us, the humidity not quite as bad this morning as it was yesterday. For some of you, there's a little bit of patchy fog. It's not a huge problem by any means for us, and that'll burn off very quickly once the sun comes up. Then we're looking at mostly sunny skies today, and another hot day as your high temperature gets all the way up to 93 degrees, but some cooler weather does arrive for the weekend. We'll share those details for you coming up in the 6 o'clock hour here on Good Morning Indiana.
Todd, thank you so much. COVID-19 concerns the efforts now to keep students and teachers safe during the pandemic, and why Wednesdays matter a lot. The Inside Look, all new at 6 a.m. right here on WRTV.